This is going to review, this amortization table will review how to find mortgage payments as well. We don't have a whole lot of time before our meeting, so I'll just, this is a good review. Mortgage schedules tracks your monthly payments over a period of time. Use the formulas from Home Finance Notes number 1. You can kind of scratch that. I don't have the Notes number 1 heading, so it's just mortgages. Right? If you go to mortgages, which was the first thing we did, we found mortgage payments and so forth. That's where you go for that. So let's do an amortization table. Maybe I'll talk about it briefly before we get started. So whenever you take out a loan, any kind of loan, the bank technically should be able to provide you with this. And so let's say you're doing this over 12 months and you make monthly payments, there should be a chart like this for over 12 months, like 12 rows, where every single payment is going to be broken down into the interest portion and the principal portion. Every single payment has those two in it every single time. You just don't see it because your statement will only show what your monthly payment is. But in the background, the interest portion and the principal portion will change every single payment. After every payment, that changes slightly. Okay? Interest is what the bank makes. That's like the finance charge. Okay? So let's fill out one of these. There's a house valued $185,000, right? There's a down payment of $25,000. Interest rate is 6%. It's amortized over 25 years. So, yeah. Sure. There you go. There you go. All right. So the first thing you need to do is find the monthly payment unless I give it to you. Okay. In this case, we don't have the monthly payment. So if you recall, the payment is price minus any down payment. You're going to multiply that by table rate divided by 1,000. So this is what we call, this part right here is what we call the mortgage, right? I'll just write mortgage down here. And so we go 185 minus 25,000. We're going to go ahead and find our table rate. And for that, you need that first chart. You don't need to bring this for an exam, okay? I will provide you with that, or the test, or whatever. Quizzes, ACs, you need this, okay? So we're going to go ahead and find that table rate, which is always the interest rate, and the amortization will give you that. So we're looking at 6%, right, over 25 years. That's that last column, right, 25 years. So we're looking at 640. You should locate that, double check. It's 640. So you're going to pay $640 per $1,000 of loan. And so this gives you 160,000. I always tell you, let's make your life easier, right? So I'll just always tell you to write this down here. You don't need to rewrite the whole thing. But we go 160,000 times 640, right, equals divided by 1,000. That's 1,024 per month. This payment doesn't change, okay? So 1,024 does not change. Once that's established, remember, you always sign for a couple of years, most likely 5 years. So for 5 years, for sure, it's not going to change. So you bring that down and you fill in the monthly payment column already, because that's not going to change. So we take this, we bring this over and fill that in there. To find the interest, you use this formula. I will write it down in that top column here, right? It's going to be unpaid balance times interest divided by 12. And I will put the interest rate divided by 100. I know it's small, sorry, but unpaid balance, I'll put a UB under this so you know that that's what I'm referring to, okay? And our first row is blocked off here, but at the very beginning, your unpaid balance is 160,000. That's what we determined way up here already when we subtracted the down payment from the value. So at the beginning, you owe this much. And if you remember, equity is how much you own, how much of the house you own. And in this case, the equity is your down payment. If there had been no down payment, you would have no equity at the beginning. You owe everything, right? So this is your down payment, and you owe this much. Okay, so that would be the first row. So let's fill this in. Here we need to figure this out, we need to take our unpaid balance, multiply that by 0.06 divided by 12. And remember, in this case, it's 6%. If you divide 6 by 100, you get 0.06. So let's figure out what that would be. So it's 800 bucks. Exactly. It happens to be a nice round number. It most likely will not be. But there's your $800. So what is happening is saying that out of your monthly payment of 1,024, 800 is going towards interest. So you got to go 1,024 minus 800. And that's 224, right? And note that these two numbers add up to your payment. That's always going to be the case. Like if I were to give you any two here, they need to add up to that payment. So unpaid balance, the amount you owe will go down by the principal amount, because that is what goes towards your. So let's take this number and subtract. And you now owe 159,776 after the first month. Okay, so the first month payment, $800, it's gone. That's their profit. You only pay off the $224, which is, look at how that is a big chunk going towards interest, which is gone, right? And your equity goes up by 224. Because, right, if you pay this much off, now you have this, you own this much more. Morning. You need a book. You need booklets, Richard? Okay, you have them. One more month. Month number 2. Let's see if you're awake on a Monday morning. What's going to happen to this number come second month? Is it going to go up or down? Yeah, down. Joey said down too. It's going to go down. The more you pay off, the less interest you pay. So if you ever win a scratch and win ticket, and you win $1,000, go straight to the bank and put it towards your mortgage, right? Boom, it's $1,000 less. Like there will be no interest charged on that extra payment. Anything extra you put in, I don't know why I said scratch and win ticket. I don't play those things, but every once in a while I do. But whatever, if ever you get extra money, put some towards your loan, right? So here you go, you grab this unpaid balance, 159. Yikes, this is going to be tough to fit in. And you divide it by 12. So you repeat the times 0.06 and you divide it by 12. 159,776 times 0.06 divided by 12. 798.88. So that's 798.88. If you want full marks on these ones, make sure you put dollar signs everywhere. And look, I keep this on my calculator, and I will just go minus 1024. Like I will subtract that from that. I know I get a negative number, but I know that what I'm after here is the 225.12. And maybe I'll just say that this is 1024 minus 798.88. That's how I got that. And then you come over to the unpaid balance and you subtract that principal amount. Right, I'm just going to go reverse. So now I owe 159,550.88. And then plus my equity goes up. So it's 225.12. So now I guess I can just do mental math, right? On a Monday morning. It's a bit risky, but we'll take it. Okay. One more month. So once you get the hang of this, it's just you got to be careful, but you just do it over and over, right? Same steps. So I'm going to take the unpaid balance as this one, right? They all kind of look the same, but it's this number here. So 159,550, and it really comes down to the cents most of the time. Like I will look at, did you get that right? 0.06 divided by 12, yikes. 159,550.88 times 0.06 divided by 12, 797.75. And so here, I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to not show the work there because it's going to, so this is 226.25. Subtract this here. And so now we owe 159,324.63. And we add 226.25 to this one. And this is now 25,675.37. So I will definitely always be looking for the last numbers here. If that matches my key, then for sure you get it all right. And then I look for dollar signs. Can we just go up to principal here? I'm just going to go that this principal is really payment minus interest. Okay. If you have like at least the top entries there and you tell yourself how you get that number, we go payment minus, so I will put PMT under monthly payment. Okay. All right. So this is the important part here. This is what I want you to understand. 3 months have gone by. How many months are there in 25 years? 300 payments. You only made 3. So it looks very depressing at first, right? Like you owe 160,000 after 3 months, you still owe 159,000, right? But as time goes by, after like the 150th payment and so, these things start to reverse. Like you will have more money in the principal than in the interest, so you pay off faster towards the end. Okay? So this is only 3 months. So after 3 months, write this down, after 3 months, right? We'll go dot, dot, dot. Total payments made. We just go 3 times 1,024. You made $3,072 worth of payments in 3 months. Okay. Total interest. In this case, you can't just go 3 times 800. You know, you'll be tempted to, after the first month, to say, hey, 3 times 800 is 2,400. It's not true. I will actually show you. You need to add up 800, 798.88, 797.75. And I will quickly add that up for you so you can just write down. This is exactly the same as vehicle finance, this step. Okay. Total towards principal. Here you can cheat a little bit. You can take the total payments made and you just subtract the total interest you've paid over the 3 months. So I'll circle these numbers because they're important, right? So in those 3 months, you really only paid off $675 from your mortgage. And I remember looking at my mortgage at first, and you should be able to print this out when you go on online banking. You go into your mortgage, they will have all 300 payments lined up for you. You can just scroll down and check every month, like, hey, how about 10 years from now? What is it going to look like? But look at this, like out of the $3,000, you really only paid off 675. This is their profit. So that's why they're so eager to give you a mortgage, because it's a fairly safe loan for them, because if you don't pay, they take your house, right? And they get their money back. And so they make a lot of money with interest. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop here.